I'm Megan Buell, and welcome to a special edition of our safety segment. Today, I am with Lieutenant Ray Robinson, and he is director of our Pupil Transportation Program with the Tennessee Highway Patrol. Welcome, Lieutenant.
Good morning, Megan, and what an honor to be here.
When I think about students going back to school, I immediately think of you and everything you've done over the course of, I don't know how many years, a long time.
Too many to speak of, but Megan, you know, we have a great team. We have a team that works from literally Memphis to Bristol. And those ladies and gentlemen, they do a great job.
I know on your mind is the safety of those children on the bus. So, but tell me a little bit, you know, one thing you and I have talked about is we know we've got the kids, we know we've got the bus drivers and the school systems, but who else do we need to be focusing on?
Sure, Megan. We want to get the parents involved. You know, not just mom and dad, but grandmother and granddad and aunts and uncles and the community mothers that are waiting at that school drop-off point. Mm-hmm. We want to get them involved, and we want them to understand what they should be seeing, and also understand that they can communicate with that school district, that they can let us know, they can let the school district know, but communicate things that you think are going wrong.
Right, and communicate things on the level of just overall safety.
So Megan, let's talk about first about children loading the school bus.
Okay.
You know, parents being at that loading zone and maybe, for example, that child sitting in the car and the big yellow bus pulls up and all the bright lights are flashing,
right.
and you know what? That bus stops and the child gets out of the car and boom, they're across the road running to the school bus.
Absolutely.
Well, Megan, that's not safe. Those children need to be waiting at that school bus stop. They can wait in the car for the warmth. When they see the school bus coming up, that child needs to come to the location that they're going to be picked up and stop and wait on that school bus driver to let them know it's okay to cross the road. 3 seconds at a bus stop is nothing in comparison to a child being struck by a car that does not stop for the school bus.
And you bring up a good point. So when my boys were little, they both took the bus to school and returned home on the bus. And I would accompany them to the bus stop.
Sure.
But I would also, Lieutenant, I would also hold their hands, and I would actually have them on the side where I thought, you know, depending on cars coming, shielding them from possibly an oncoming car and guiding them to the school bus, because bus drivers already have so much responsibility put on them, and parents need to just pick up those few pieces to help out those school bus drivers.
Megan, would you allow your sons to cross the road even today, and they're a little bit older? Would you allow them to cross the road without looking both ways?
No.
Never. So why would we do it around a school bus?
That's right.
You know, those lighting devices that are on that school bus are there for a reason, to stop cars. But we live in a world of distractions. You hear about the horrible stories from distractions. Well, you know what? If as a parent I can keep my child safe and that car drives by, I'm still very angry at that car driver or that truck driver.
That's right.
But you know what? My child's safe. So it's just another tool in my toolbox that allows me to be a safe parent, getting my kids to school and getting them great education.
That's exactly right. And we know that, you know, when you're sending your child off to school, the first experience that they have, if they're riding that school bus, is getting on that school bus safely and arriving to school safely.
Sure.
That's the number one first experience.
Sure,
right?
Absolutely. So let's talk about that school bus driver. What should you see? Well, obviously, we want to see a belted school bus driver. You know, we want that driver wearing that seat belt for safety reasons. School buses aren't like your Chevrolet, your Caprice, or your Nissan Sentra or whatever. Right. The driver's seat is setting up. It's much like a stool, and you can easily slide out of those seats. So that seat belt is going to secure that driver in that driver's seat, where he can better maintain control of that vehicle. you also want to make sure that that driver, when he pulls up, is paying attention to the children, seeing the children cross the road, giving some sort of hand signals. If not, then what do? Go make a reasonable request to your transportation system in the school district and say, I've got these concerns as a parent. And I guarantee you most of the school districts are going to jump right on that. Now, obviously, these first 2-3 weeks, they're a struggle.
There's some kinks.
Oh, Megan, it's unbelievable. Growth. We talked about growth in a conversation you and I had earlier this morning. And it's hard for the school districts to always know where that growth is going to occur. So you know what? There may be some hiccups, some bumps. But you know what? The districts are going to work them out, and certainly the go to the website, go to our Tennessee.gov website, go to the Department of Safety. Pupil Transportation has a section on there. You can contact me, and I will help you if that need be.
A very important law was passed, and that is about cell phone usage in school zones. Can you elaborate a little more about that?
This year, when you're driving through a school district, a school zone, and it's a marked flashing zone, so what that lets us know is that children are present, they're loading, unloading, etc. This is around the school. The lights are flashing, that we as adults over 18 years of age, if we're going to use a cell phone, and Megan, we'd rather you not.
That's right.
But if we're going to use a cell phone, you must be on a hands-free device. If not, if you're saw by law enforcement using a cell phone without hands-free, you could be cited and having a court appearance and points on your license.
Well, that's not good.
That's not good.
But it's an easy thing to do. Put your phone down.
Sure.
No reason.
Absolutely. I mean, 5 minutes.
That's right.
Get out of the school zone. I'd rather you not. But if you're going to use a cell phone, hands-free device in the cell phone, and I'd rather you just not use the cell phones at all.
Absolutely. Well, Lieutenant, you do an excellent job, and your heart is just so in it. And
thank you, Megan.
as a parent, I appreciate you.
We've got a great team, and what I want to do is let the people know that's going to watch this, the parents, the grandparents, the aunts, the uncles. You know what? We're there for them.
That's right.
You see one of our uniformed officers inspecting school buses, you can always ask them a question. You can always call me, because you know what? One child that gets hurt in a school bus is too many.
That's right.
And we're going to do the best that we can to ensure school bus safety. And that starts with everybody, the children, the bus driver, the parents, the school district, and the Department of Safety, Tennessee Highway Patrol.
I like it. Well, thank you, Lieutenant, very much.
Thank you, ma'am.